Hello guys. I just sat down. I can't turn the TV off. Ever since I was little, even doing homework, I just could not concentrate unless there was TV in the background or radio. Like, because I don't listen to it, I tune it out, but it has to be there. Like, even in the shop when I was just doing nothing, cleaning it, there's got to be something. It's just the way I am. If you want to pick on me about it, go ahead. There's been some comments picking on me about the medication problem. I'm not sure if people are just watching the one video and then they're thinking I'm pill fishing or like Old Man Al and all the people surrounding me that have been doing that kind of stuff for years. They obviously misunderstood. I tried to explain it in the comments. I'll get to that in a minute. But I just wanted to say hello, guys. I'm still a little sick, but like I said, over the years, you guys know how my memory is. Some days I would forget to take like the one before bed, things like that. And so over the years, I would end up with 1 or 2 left in the bottle some months, and I don't throw anything away. I have it. So I did have a few extra, like I said, I think 2 videos ago. So I've been making that last a little, so it's at least in my system so that I'm not seizing by myself in my home with my child on a medication that I was prescribed to for reasonable reasons and diagnoses. Same dose, same medicine, taken at the same time every day for 8 years. I've done nothing wrong here. And it's just, I was scared about the withdrawal because it is a deadly withdrawal. And it's their mistake, admittedly. And what am I don't understand why people are responding. Some people are responding the way they are, like I have a problem and I'm, give me my medicine, no, like it's Percocets or something. No, it's a scary situation.
Dr. Paula
I sat here for 5 minutes trying to figure out this remote, and I just don't know how to turn it down. It looks like this, and you would think it's either the up or the buttons, or these plus signs, or these arrows. If you press the plus, it mutes it. But where's the up and down? And the remote that I was using, that is an old Xfinity remote, was the one that controlled the volume. That just stopped working. There's no batteries, there's nothing. I do have another one somewhere, but I would have to dig that out, and I've had no time to go searching for a remote right now.
But it drastically impacts anyone going through infertility.
I haven't seen my mom in a couple days. She showed up Monday. I told her Sunday night that I had a lot of things to do Monday, to catch up with emails, applications, more job interview, get all that kind of stuff done. And she showed up at 10 o'clock on Monday dressed. I always get ready in the morning every day no matter what, so I was dressed, but I'm like, well, what are you doing here? And I was pretty sick, but okay, so she seemed to be patient and calm with me. I did make a couple mistakes, and she didn't flip out like usual, so I think that she calmed down a little, and it was fine. She took me to put the money, cash that I got from the refrigerators, to put into the bank, so I mailed the rent check today, and then there's a couple $100 left in there, so with the check that'll come in next month from Social Security, that'll still be rent for next month, but there's no extra money for anything else. We have the food and stuff, so any bills are going to have to wait this month. I had to pay the Wi-Fi bill, like I said, that got done. The electric's okay, and the water's okay, I guess.
That the wrong embryo wound up in your body.
That's the main thing. I don't want to get behind on bills, but nothing panned out. I have applied to everything and everywhere because
these are unbearable,
the experience that I have is mostly what I've explained. running places, different places and all that in my past videos. But I can do anything. So I can, and I'm a very quick learner. So I've just been applying for anything and everything.
Children from their own genetics.
It paid training jobs, just whatever I can get right now that I will do. And once I start working, I'm a routine person. I do everything in routine. I always have. I don't know that it's OCD, but it just helps me focus and do what I do. And then because they don't know what's wrong with my short-term memory and stuff and can't figure it out, it helps me remember what I'm supposed to do too. So that becomes my life. That's why I keep saying the places I've worked, I've opened and closed, because I would never take a sick day. That's just my routine. That's what I do every day. My job. So I'm hitting the ground. A couple people are helping ride when my mom's not. My friend Anthony took us to a children's baseball game yesterday for Vannah to get out and watch. She enjoyed that. And down to the Marcus Hook River to see the boats and stuff at the end of the day. So he's been very nice. He brings fruit. She loves fruit. So he's been extremely kind. That's nice of him. So, this is a busy week. Vannah is graduating kindergarten on Thursday. Can you close that, please? The glare on that.
Hey,
you can play with him then. He was on the ground.
Hey.
I'm working, honey. Thank you.
She's
She's graduating on Thursday at 1:15, so I just told my mother, so she's going to be there. And I'm so proud, I can't believe it. I think I mentioned about the woman who's seen the yearbooks. We were never given anything about yearbooks, and I looked at the one that her friend had gotten, and her picture was in there and everything, and I was very upset too. Like, no, I saved everything. I spent $80 on her first pictures because I was just so excited. It's her first year of school, and I've saved everything, so obviously I would have gotten a yearbook. So thankfully I called the office, and they were $15. They had some extra ones, and they'll give that to me tomorrow for $15, which I'm very happy about. And here's the art that I wanted to show you. This was the one picture she brought home the other day.
People are being more vocal.
Remember I was saying it's like abstract? It's a person. And then it's like their neck, and then their body. See the different shapes, and then the colors, and just the different lines. And then the background, it's just very creative to me. It just really surprises me, the colors she mixes and the time she takes. The shapes and the different views of how she looks at these things. This was the alligator. She did a very good job on that. And then look, it's the 3D thing again with the clouds. And then this was just flowers. And she did a very good job on that.
Those are extremely high risk.
So there's that. And then yesterday she came home and
is the best chance for a healthy
she was given this.
So that's where
a visual art award. Kindergarten, her name, for demonstrating effort, skill, and understanding in the visual arts and receiving grades of standards in all trimesters. They present her with this, with the certificate of outstanding achievement at her school. So proud of her. I was like, I told you your art was good and stuff, because she was like, and I'm like, no, I think it's crazy. It's good. She also got this. She was the most helpful in school. She was the most helpful classmate. And she's won a couple other awards, the Eagle Award, Gratitude, and things like that. So she did very good this year. She's doing sentences. She's sounding out words. We're working on silent letters, but spelling-wise, she's sounding out the words and spelling the words correctly. It's just sometimes she's missing the silent letters. That's all. Like, mommy, at first, she was doing it right all by herself. She was just missing the second N. Yes?
What did you think? I wasn't going to find out.
Baby, she's super sad at food.
Toothless is talking? Why? Why was the Annabelle sad in school?
Because I want my cat mean to me.
They're not being mean.
Because Shyla can be mean to me. Because I was my tire. Then she pushed me back. And she get.
Was that at recess?
No.
In school?
No.
Well, I told you to tell the
teacher. She get paid with football.
Okay.
Football.
I told you if someone is being physical to always tell the teacher, and if they're being
She
mean.
gonna say, no, I didn't. She gonna lie then.
Okay, and then here's the next part. I told you just to say, I do not want to play with you anymore, and just walk away.
Did she tell me?
Just walk away, honey.
No, Keela lied me.
Okay.
She always lies.
If she's lying, then like I said, just distance yourself and don't respond. You respond sometimes, and that's what's just going to make it worse. It's going to go back and forth, back and forth.
And Keela always
It's best
lies
to
me.
just ignore her, pretend you don't hear her, this, and walk away.
Malik, Aggie me. Malik me to me. Aggie me to me. Nala,
Okay,
Akila.
we'll talk about it later. We've talked about this. You have to listen to my advice, or it's just going to keep happening. We can't keep having the same conversation. I've talked to the teachers. You got one more day left of school anyway. Do not bring those blankets outside. Put them back right now. No, I don't want them ruined. Use the flannel one then. The red and black one, Annabelle. Okay, but I keep rewashing them and rolling them up. I don't. It's not. That one's the outside one. She's on the porch with Ellie, and Ellie's mom's out there. So I'm very proud of her. She's graduating Thursday. That's a ceremony, and Friday's the last day of school. I applied for the daycare online, but we are going to the office next week. So we'll most likely do it again, because we've been through this in the first few videos, how you do it online or you call, it doesn't get done right, and we had to keep going back and forth to the office for things to be done correctly. So I need that done as soon as possible, because if a job calls tomorrow and they ask when can you start, I'm going to say immediately, today, yesterday, you know.
You'll do your rehab. You'll get out.
I'm also trying to get rid of the kittens. I actually haven't really had a response for them, which is weird, because the Bengals, and especially the Siamese, it's usually like you're overwhelmed by the responses. So, did you take my pad away again? Let me see. That little sniper. What was it called? Swiper, no swiping. I just had the pad that I wrote down. 1 second, guys. Vannah, did you take my notebook again?
Oh, honey. It's okay. I'm gonna see you soon. I'm sorry.
Mommy? Mommy?
It's easier for them if you stay here.
Mommy?
Baby.
Now she went across the street in Allie's house.
I don't know where to start.
She had to have taken the notebook. Right before we started this, she grabbed it, and I said, no. Those are my notebooks to write my notes every day of my to-do list and what I have to do so I can remember. And I wrote down some things that I just didn't want to forget in this video. That little swiper. Okay. So
I came home one day to discover that my husband.
I wrote about the art, the graduation, the medicine.
For a monastery in Thailand looking for forgot. My kids haven't even gotten a postcard from him in 4 years. And at first it was hard.
We still don't know about this child,
I met
who
Matt.
this person is, and who this
And
child
we all
is
fell
that
in love with him.
they're trying to sign up for Social Security now.
And it was good. It was really good.
I'm doing a little better with the
Then my
grieving
best
because
friend
at
went in
this
for a
point
mammogram.
I've
It was
been
her
watching
first.
some studies and
It
things
was too late.
about,
She spent
you
the
know,
next 3 months
Stockholm's,
dying in
and
hospice. I went there every day, and
I really got to stop defending him and doing things because this is out of control, this whole double life, and
the intensity of it all.
I do know he was sick, but that's too much. I guess that's not an excuse because he could have gotten treatment, and I begged him to, and apparently he was like this way before I met him. Started with wife one, I guess. But it's still very hurtful, and it took me days to even try to begin to process all of this. So I'm just trying to not think about it right now and focus on the good things to keep me going, which leads me to what I said. I don't know if people watch a video and they've never dealt with addiction like my mother, so they have their own opinions. But with addiction, there is things called triggers. When you're trying to get sober, there are certain things that remind you of behaviors and habits of either the drugs or alcohol, which I used alcohol. And during the time, those triggers were driving. I had to stop driving because I would only drive to the liquor store. And that would remind me of that. So I had to stop that. And as that year went on, that gave him an excuse not to ever buy me a car again for the rest of our lives. I had to stop talking to Amber a little bit because Amber and I, we would go out and drink all the time in the beginning, and it wasn't a problem. And then I would get upset and cry about my dad a lot, so that would make me think of those things. And my mother, with her nagging, she would come over, sit, and just bash and belittle things from 10 years ago, today, then, that's, you should have never done this, you should have never done that, it's like it's done, it's over with, just, please stop, and then I would either drink before she came to get through it, or drink after she came, even if I was trying to be sober that week. So that, I love her to death, and she'll never understand that. She would probably get very angry with me if she knew she was a trigger. And so I had to distance myself from it. Don following me room to room to room to room to room, doing the same thing. Nobody even understood how bad that was until something happened where my best friend Walt couldn't go home, and he had to stay at our house for a couple of days until a court date. And he was with me, and we were playing pool in the bay. This is when I'm sober, trying to play the ball game outside. I'd been sober for about 2 months, and he was watching Don follow me down the basement to play pool. I said, all right, I can't do this. Back up the basement, outside, this way, just And then he was like, oh my God, you're true, because I would post this stuff on Facebook back then. So he was like, that's why you're outside by yourself with a spotlight playing a ball game back and forth for hours for months. Yes, I had to stay completely alone. And then I had to reprogram once I stopped thinking about liquor, which the first 3 months were the hardest. And then it got easier and easier. And then after a year, maybe into 2, then I had to start reprogramming and trying to think of ways to think about people like Mom and Amber and stuff without thinking about drinking. And that took some time, but I did it. And then 10 years, not a thought of drinking. I learned how to redo it with Don and do different things instead of drinking. That's the whole point of sobriety and recovery. So I don't know what some people are commenting about saying things like that. I'm not blaming other people. I had an addiction. I was drinking. I caused a lot of trouble, a lot of pain, a big mess for everybody.
I started hitting the one ends.
But there are triggers. And I was grieving for my father, and I needed to deal with that. And honestly, I was scared when Don died because I was like, is this going to restart all this? And it didn't. I didn't have any thoughts of drinking. So after the weekend I had with the whole wife thing, the child thing, just the double life, the whole 4 past months, down, denied, this, bills, no job, just everything. You guys who have been following me and support me, watch it, you guys understand. So, just all of that I've been just saying, okay, you can deal with this, you can deal with this, pushing it aside, using my other coping mechanisms that are healthy, this, and then them messing a medication up, and then just being so sad and depressed about what happened over the weekend. And then my mother all day long, I was paying for my pack of cigarettes and a pretzel for Vannah, and I looked down and I seen all the little vodka bottles, and that was the first time in 10 years that I thought about that, because then it just flew into my head that when I was drinking, it was a cycle. They put you on benzos to get you off of drinking, to detox. And then when you're drinking, obviously the only way to treat it at home or whatever was to take your medication. It was a cycle, it turned into a cycle. I was never abusing it, but I would forget what day it is, wake up, blackout throughout the day. It was bad. I'm not going to lie, it was very bad. And I would have the same high levels of heart medicine, aspirin, just all my medications that I was taking again and again during the day. So I never abused medication. So that made me remember that, something I haven't even thought of in 10 years. And I thought to myself, because I was so scared of getting sick from this withdrawal, that's how they used to fix it. And that made me think, should I get it? And then I said to myself, I just looked, and I was holding Vannah's hand, and I looked down at her, and then in my mind, I just thought, no. Got the cigarettes, walked out the door. That's all I was saying. So a couple people jumped on me about that, and please spare me. I'm fully aware of addiction in every level, every substance. Like I said, I wish I could have been a psychiatrist or a counselor, because I've been through that, but I've lived it through a million other people.
I take it you're not a baseball fan.
I've seen it all.
Absolutely.
My father relapsed.
Yeah, we need you inside.
We moved back from Florida when I was 15. I seen him 2 times. The last time I seen him, he seen my mother for the first time in years. He always loved her. Never stopped loving her. She would never even talk to him. She leaned over the deck above us, wouldn't even let us sit in the downstairs
I was a nervous wreck.
mother-in-law quarters, living room. We had to sit outside on the patio. But she bent over and said the lawnmower was fixed, because she seen him looking at it because the grass was long. And then asked him to fix it. And I could tell he was upset and started thinking about stuff. That's the last time I seen my father. He was 12 months sober at that point, drinking that year. Really good, really happy. So extremely happy that we were home finally, that I was home, back from Florida. Everything was going to be okay. He relapsed. He drank a little bit. The halfway house, Oxford house, said, you drink, you leave. He went to my Aunt Terry's house. They didn't let him stay for some reason. He walked down the street on Folsom Road in Ridley and fell asleep on the train tracks.
Matt? Another time would be great.
And none of it made sense. There wasn't hardly any alcohol in his system, and the train guy said he honked. There was no movement, no flinching, nothing. So it just, and he wasn't like we're an Italian family guy. There's no suicide type of thing. That's not how he was at all. He got angry about that stuff, actually. So, that's how that happened. So, let me just explain again about the medicine, because people are confused thinking I don't even pill fishing or pill searching. I had agoraphobia after Don kept me in the house for 8 years. At first it was like not that bad. After 3 years it started to turn into that. Then I was scared to leave the house, but he didn't take me anywhere anyway. So I only went to my doctor, Regina. This was a couple years after being sober, so she's seen me at my worst mentally, not physically, just mentally and emotionally. Over those 8 years, we tried different medications. We ended up on Prozac, that worked. Different things for the pain. So gabapentin, that's nerve medication, that helps. And the Suboxone, because I didn't want to keep taking the pills for the severe scoliosis, disc, straight neck, a million things that are wrong. I don't want to take pain pills and opioids. So I'm on that. I think that is some kind of substance or opioid, but it's one strip by tongue combined with gabapentin, and I'm not on the program because of drug abuse or pill abuse. It's referred to as pain management. That's why when I was pregnant, she wanted me to have a team of specialists, and Chriatiana wouldn't listen to her. She was faxing them, writing hand letter things. I think a prenatalologist or something like that is what she wanted for the pain management of the medication I was on, so it could be watched.
Fine, thank you.
Okay? No drug abuse. And I'm on heartburn medicine and heart medicine because I have tachycardia that I was born with, 2 types. These are the medications I'm on. I'm not on a whole bunch of medications as a single mother falling apart, like somebody said, I think. You just might have watched one video and misunderstood, I guess. So it's understandable, but you really need to read and watch the whole story to understand fully what's going on here. So it started off wanting Ativan. That started to work a little, got better. So, slowly over the years they came to 2.5s. And then towards the end, so that's like 5 years in, so like altogether 8 years. I've been on this medicine 8 years. It went up to 3 maybe a few years ago. So it's 3, 0.5. That's 3 times a day. So that's 1 milligram and a half. Is that a lot?
I like it too.
I know people that swallow 8 Xanax at a time. So that's what I'm on daily, every day. I take all my medications. They're in different spots for me to remember, morning and night, and in those boxes, and in medical safe boxes so kids can't get to them. Never refuse them. I take it on time every day, the same day. Like I said, sometimes I would forget at night if things are hectic. I'm taking care of Don, giving him his medicine, being in bed, ready for school, and then I would go to sleep. So there was extra. That's the only reason why I'm seizing and not in the hospital right now. For now on, I will always read the bottles. So I guess a mistake of mine was not reading the bottle, but I also there was no reason to. She wasn't changing the medicine. The whole point of the appointment was just to get my normal refills of all this medication. I didn't want to be there. I did not want to change my doctor, but I cannot pay for her right now. And it's Chriatiana Care. I talked to a lawyer today that Anthony has a good lawyer set me up. And they're going to review it. But the thing is, they focus on one thing. So I had to tell them about the surrogacy thing, the whole abandonment of the patient, not giving us appointments, labs results. So I bled out on the table, flatlined. Which all could have been avoided even in the ER room for 12 hours. It's a mess. So once a lawyer finally listens to me, then they're going to hear about the epidural thing. Then they're going to read the 63 things in the book that went wrong. Then they're going to, now this is going to be included, because this was negligence, abandonment of the patient again, and I guess malpractice. It's not the doctors, it's not the nurses, it's the Chriatiana. But the nurses, they're not doing their job either. Like I said, I called about that, and they never even relayed the messages. When we got there, they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. And that was after 2 days talking to 4 people. So it's a mess. So whoever's watching one video and thinking this, you need to watch all of them to understand that. So of course I was scared to go through a deadly withdrawal, which is a fact, on a medication that needs to be tampered or weaned when you are coming off of it, especially after you've been on it on years, because it's a whole psychological thing. That's serious. Hopefully someday I will be able to channel my anxiety into different things. But at this point, the medications that we have seen over the years that didn't work and did work, the regimen works right now. I'm happy and healthy. Finally, now that I'm out socializing too, and over the agoraphobia, so that's good.
He says with the snow, he's real backed up. It's gonna be like an hour.
If they try to change it, I'm walking out of the room, and I don't care what I have to do. I will get the money to go right back to Regina. I'm not risking my health.
You know the way, right?
She is the only person that I talked to for 8 years. She knows.
Come on now, Laney.
And she's an amazing, well-respected person. She's the nurse practitioner, and Dr. Ware is the one that okays the medicine and goes through all his system. It's his practice. He's highly respected. Everybody knows him, even the chiropractor I went to today. I went with Anthony, but I'm going to go back to this guy once my insurance goes through, because he's highly respected and very good. And he might be able to help fix the scoliosis. So that will help maybe, and then I will be able to get off that stuff. You know, there's proactive things. I am not a negative person, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I did something wrong or bad, being scared about being sick on a medication that works that I need. I don't need it forever. I think that I can get better with that. But I just started leaving the house a year ago. That's just going to take some time to be comfortable and do that. I already couldn't look people in the eye the past 4 days. I might have actually blown an interview because I was shaking a little and couldn't make eye contact, and my mind was a little even more fuzzy, so I wasn't saying words. So thank you, Chriatiana. And then my mother just called right before I started this video. When we were there, the first time that we went in about the medicine, when they said that they weren't received any medicine, the way my mom spoke to them at first was rude, like I said. And they all they all turned around. 7 people started looking at us as if I was a junkie. And I was like, Mom, I wanted to say what happened, not start screaming at the window. She had an appointment 2 weeks ago, and they messed her medicine up, and she needs it, you know. So when we started to walk away, very loudly, the one nurse said bitch, and everybody heard that. So my mother said that I got the email too. I seen it's from Chriatiana about the service and how can we help you where you this. And I didn't open it yet because I have some things to say. I don't want to be impolite, but I want to be assertive and say what's going on too, because this is not acceptable. And I know I'm not the only one. That's why I'm doing the hashtag Chriatiana Care Negligence. People are going to start coming out, because there's no way that everywhere is wrong where I just keep going with serious things. Like I said, most of it was maternity. She tells me that she got the email and she responded to it, and she said that she said what they did with me and this and that, but the main thing was Rhonda, and I didn't even know she looked at the woman's name, that Rhonda called her a bitch and this and that, and the whole email's about this woman to get her fired.
I'm fine, really.
And on, and I'm like, well, I'm like, Mom, you usually would never respond to these type of things. So did you respond about me and what's going on, the withdrawal, and that it was a mistake and that it could have been fixed and this and that, or did you only include this nurse that you want fired? And she laughs and she's like, no, I did say that, but I told them about that. And I'm like, did you even include my doctor's name? She's like, well, I don't know your doctor's name. I'm like, you could have texted me while you're doing this email to do it properly so they can do it and investigate it. So it was all about this nurse. But I was like, thank you for including my story then too. And then I had to hang up because I was busy. The woman shouldn't have said that. She should have probably whispered it to herself, but not out loud like that. That was very unprofessional and, again, just not good. It's not good what's going on anywhere. And then I'm saying to my mom, did you include this and this? And she's like, Dana, it's not about this, because I'm talking about the whole Chriatiana in general, the negligence with everything else. I was like, did you include that it was the anniversary of when I flatlined last year? Ironically, or coincidentally, they just almost killed me if I didn't have this extra medicine on the same day that they killed me last year because of their negligence and malpractice and abandonment. And she's like, no, it's not about that. I'm trying to explain. Mom, it's not that specific office. It's Chriatiana Care. That's all connected.
Say hi for me.
And then she's yelling at me. And I'm just like, all right, you don't understand it, so I'll just
You know what they're gonna say?
explain it to you when you want to listen, because then you just keep getting cut off.
His place wearing his sweats.
She was good on Monday, though. She was calm and being respectable and listening because I was clearly in bad condition. So there was that. I've had a pretty good day the past couple of days. I'm just trying to be really positive. I'm doing a lot of applications, like I said. I applied. I didn't hear back from the Goodwill, so last night while I was laying in bed, I applied again. I just applied again, and applied to a couple more places again. There were some places I drove by with Anthony that I wrote down that said they were hiring, so I applied to them. I did call one today, didn't get an answer, but I applied online, so hopefully we get some emails back because they're right around the corner too. The post office, anything. And then I'm going to have to do some things online. The woman who bought the freezers, remember I said she bought some racks too, and she paid cash for the freezers, but she used Cash App to get the racks, and that came to $80. And then yesterday I get an email. It didn't look like it was from Cash App, but it said that she was trying to cancel it to get the $80 returned. And when I was in the deli using the Cash App with the kids, they kept trying to do that, paying me with Cash App for the food or drinks they were buying, and then they would go home and try to cancel it. I'm working, Vannah. And try to cancel it just to get their money back, and then the free whatever. So, but Cash App would send me an email saying this, and I would be like, no, so they would not return the money. So that was just in a text message, but it didn't say it was from Cash App, but it was saying Cash App. But I never got an email, and it's still there, so I guess she couldn't do it. But I got real nervous because I'm new to all this, and I texted Amber, I'm like, can she do that? Can people give you money for something and then hit return somehow and get it free and get the cash back? Should I be using this Cash App? And she didn't really know that answer. She didn't think so. So if you guys know anything about that, let me know. I had a lot of comments to respond to today. I think I responded to everybody. Even the negative ones, I'm trying to be kind because I think you misunderstood. It's not addiction. It's not addiction. Honestly, I guess you could say it's dependence on it because I have been on it for 8 years, but it's something that helps me talk. You guys will never understand how bad my anxiety was before. When in the teen years, in the 20s, when we were drinking occasionally, when Amber and I would go out to bars, but way before it was a problem, that's when I could be talkative and happy and take fun pictures that are on my Facebook. But when I'm at home, I didn't have any other friends except her and Michelle and stuff. I didn't talk to people. So it was really bad. And when I was a teenager with waiters, or if I went out with my mom or Don with waiters, I couldn't even say what I wanted to waiters. They had to say it. And my mom would always say, you'll break out of your shell, you'll break out of yourself when I was in school. And that's the whole reason why I had to be homeschooled and couldn't finish high school. I just couldn't do it. The anxiety was too bad. It turned to bulimia, cutting. It was awful. And nobody would listen to me because my mom has this big stigma about mental illnesses. And then she finally accepted that and would tell people she's bipolar, she has social anxiety, and anxiety disorder, and other things. And then, like I said, as the years went on, it turned into agoraphobia, unfortunately. The past several years with Don. I think that was just because he kept me in the house, and then it transformed into that. So Amber eased me out of that very slowly with the baby. And then I started coming out of the house, and then I started to walk to the deli, which is right down the street. And then I started going in, and then started working, and then walking the Vannah to school every day. And then talking to people, it got better. So at this point, I'm starting to get back to my old self. And when I say my old self, I mean how I always was, just with like Amber and my friends, the people I was comfortable with. So now I'm like that, but towards everybody. And a lot of that has to do with my medication and my regimen and the things that are put together. Not just the one thing. I have to take the Prozac with the Ativan, for all these things to work and work. So it's not bad, and it's not a lot. They're the only three. There's three main things: my heart meds, and then little things like heartburn and nausea. They're not bad drugs, and they're as needed, so I don't take those too often. And iron pills for the anemia that they still can't figure out. And then now I have all these extra appointments from the MRI. I have a lot of anxiety. I'm scared to death. It's just a lot, and I'm trying to stay positive right now. I'm trying to stay positive and keep forward, because if I break down, I lose everything. And I've been there, done that. And I cannot do that again and ruin my daughter's life, everyone else's lives, mine, and just completely disappoint everybody. My children, my family, just everybody. I can't fall. That's not an option. It's not an option. So you guys are always a big help. I love the support. I'm so glad I started doing this. And like I said, I hope that this continues to build, to help people, so that down the line, the goal is to do something to help people in these situations. There's a million people, homemakers, awful things that happen to people where they are away, jail, 20, things, kidnap people, they're in basements for 20 years. How do they start learning how to do everything without help? They're very scared. There's a million situations of why somebody would be starting at A in their later years and not knowing how to do a damn thing. And it's very common. There's nothing wrong with getting married and being a wife and a mother, that's what I thought. That's what I wanted. That's what life was to me. I didn't want what my mom had. I didn't want boyfriends. I didn't want the heartbreak. I wanted to meet somebody, get married, and have a family. And unfortunately, I was conned. Never said that. Not like that. But I have beautiful children from it, and that all the sadness, all the troubles, all the lies, all the heartbreak, everything I went through with the drinking, everything, the moving, the evictions, losing half our belongings over there, just the entire life. I'd do it again in a heartbeat if it meant that I would not have my children. I would do it in a heartbeat to have these kids, because that's what came out of it. So I thank him for that.
My friend wants a wooden.
And although he was conning me, he did save my life at that point in
I
time.
fell asleep. I had a bad dream, that's all. Nothing wrong. My car broke down.
Oh,
I was in and out of the hospitals. I had to move into Heather because
I've
of
been
the
stranded all
abuse.
night. I need to get back to my kids.
Heather was going to work every day. Jimbo was going to work every day.
just give me a few minutes.
I had suffering from the bulimia that I got out of hospital, to cutting, to just severe depression, anxiety. I would never tell my sister this, but they let me set the garage up with like cool lights, like a teenager, a regular teenager, a couch and all this and stuff that from my first paycheck and everything. And I had something planned, and I never told her that, and I never will, because the only reason why I did it is because we were so close. And after I did die on the living room floor, which I told you guys about when I took those things that I didn't know what they were, that were from Jimbo's surgery, so I didn't have to go to school. She was, remember I said, she said my diaries, after she read those, they were the darkest things she's ever read. She couldn't even get them out of her head, and she was terrified every time the phone rang because of it. So the only reason why I did it is because I loved my sister and my brother-in-law more than anything, and if she would have found me like that, I don't know. I couldn't do that to her. So I just threw myself into work, and then Don was there for me every day. So it fell in love, and that seemed real, and it did save my life at the time. So that's why everything happens for a reason. And then I had my beautiful children.
All of them suspended.
That doesn't make them disappear. And what we need to know,
Come
and
on,
what your
baby
kids
Bop.
need to know, is that they can rely on you.
I don't even take aspirin anymore.
All right, guys. I want to stay positive. I don't like to think about those things, but I am venting here to help other people, and
Go fish.
just know that I know what you're going through in a lot of different situations. There's some different people that are starting to watch that have trouble with addiction in the past and can relate,
You were
and
late? I thought you were coming.
I'm always here to listen
I didn't. She
and
cried.
talk to
I did
without
not.
judgment or criticism
Not both of you, okay?
at all.
Now look, Jenny, listen to me.
Just helpful
Jenny,
notes and
look at me.
advice and
I know it's been hard for both of you.
mechanisms and things
I understand
that
I
could
don't
or
blame
could
you.
not work, or
But what happened
things.
to me that day?
I'm
in the
always here
department
for you
store,
guys
what
too.
happened to us,
Just know that.
I'm never gonna let that happen again.
Um,
I promise.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I
believe you,
love all
Mommy.
of you guys.
You have 7.
I hope you all are being safe. I will definitely get on here
I
after
just want to thank you
or
again.
during. I'll
You're
tape
wonderful
video
kids.
of the graduation, of course. We'll post that and then do a video later. And one thing that I did want to ask of you guys is,
Sweetie, thank you so much.
I really don't know how hashtags work. I don't know if you need to share those, but I'm trying to get the thing out about the Chriatiana care, so maybe some more people will come out of the woodwork, so that
Very good care of it.
Him.
we can share our stories about that. And with this, just so this gets out to help more women and stuff, that's what the hashtag is. When will you be coming home? For anyone that's lost somebody or
You'll make sure she knows that.
was left alone, things like that in these scenarios or similar situations type of thing. Also,
I'll be back for your birthday on
my GoFundMe. I know I always ask you guys to share it. I'm not asking you to donate. I'm asking, I don't have a lot of people to share it to, like I've said 1,000 times, but if you guys share it and maybe write, like, for your friends to share it, then they'll share it, and then that way it can get around, and then the people, it could help with some donations, but also the people will see my videos on there from the updates and stuff, and then they'll be able to find this channel, and then that can spread to help more people in the same situation that's written on the page. And then, you know, that'll be easier for this, for the long-term goal and stuff. So that's what I'm asking. I'm not asking like for donations and stuff. I would just like if you could share it and say to share it, and then other friends will share it, and maybe it'll go. I think that might work, maybe, and then they'll see the videos and find the channel. Okay, guys. Oh, I wanted to show you my shoes. I got these years ago, and out and about today, I got 4 different people stopped to be like, your shoes, they're the same color as the shirt. I've had this shirt for years. I've only worn it like twice because I have such nice clothes and things, but never went anywhere. So I've had all these things for years and years, but they're new. And then I've had these shoes forever, but I've only worn them once. But they're pink and they have the little open toe. I'm gonna have to paint my toenails, but they are boots. I wear boots every day. I've never been a sneaker person. Even in high school, I always wore like heels, not too high, but always boots and stuff. But they're like a flexible, stretchy material, and I just got them out finally because I was like, they're the exact same color as the shirt. So a lot of people were stopping me, and they're like, I mean, they're pretty and they're pretty cool, but I didn't think they were such an attraction stopper or whatever. A lot of people were like, your boobs. An older lady in Wawa loved them, and she's like, I'm too old for that. I can't wear heels anymore, but they are so pretty and cool. Is that a new thing with the toes? And I was like, maybe. I don't think so. Been quite a few years, but I just thought that was so funny. But they do match the outfit, so that's one thing I'm happy about too. Now that I'm getting out, I'm able to wear clothes that I've had for 20 years and shoes, because that's how my mom raised me. She's the same way. We always match, and purses, coats, shoes, and I have all that stuff. Remember, Don was calling me Queen of Linwood when I started wearing my things that were special that I haven't been able to ever wear. But that's just how we've always dressed. So it's not really, it doesn't cross my mind that it's special or dressed up, and people always think I'm dressed up. So that made me feel good today. Couple compliments about the shoes make you feel better, like you're getting out and getting back to your old self again. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Share the GoFundMe page, and I hope I cleared up any misunderstandings about these pills and fishing. That's not at all what that is. I was just terrified of getting sick and seizing in front of my child, which could have been totally avoided if it happened, or it could happen. I think it did happen the first night because I couldn't find them, because they were older ones that you save and then lock away. But my whole neck, back, and legs, and I never have pain in my legs, and the arms a little. So maybe it wasn't a bad one, but because you don't know when you seize, it's just the pain. And I guess that happened at night because it was the next day, and then it was awful. So thankfully I found those. That's the only reason why I'm not in hospital right now, and I had no time to be in a hospital. And no way for someone to take care of my child. So try to not be negative or judgment when you're getting on a video and watching somebody for the first time, especially if this whole you see there's a million videos and they're on a journey and it's documenting each day and every mistake and ups and downs and denials and applications and interviews and job centers and places and welfare and Social Security and VA and
even easier than that.
Switching a doctor that I love, that's like a mother to me for 8 years. It's hard enough doing that, and then they mess up.
What's in your wallet?
So it's just.
No fees or minimums.
And then I was very upset because of the background with the Chriatiana. It wasn't just about that they messed this pills up. It's like they did this again, and ironically, did it on the anniversary 1 year later after they killed me, which could have been totally avoided, and then put the children on morphine without checking the right symptoms. Amber's going to sue about that too. There's 2 ways to do that because of the medicine, and they didn't even put Lexi on anything, and it was the exact same thing. So we have that too to look into with Vannah when they messed up completely. Thought I was on Suboxone when I said I got off of it 9 months ago, and then said she shivered and put her on morphine. When with Charlie we found out there's 2 ways they handle the withdrawal. I don't remember, it's in the book, but there has to be at least 4 symptoms the one way, and she shivered, that's all they said. And all the tests were negative about the drugs, the one that went back 3 months. So that was completely malpractice or whatever it is. Let the lawyers handle it. I won't stop until this is done and exposed. Like I said, I have lawyers' names down. I talked to one today. I will sit in their office until they walk with me out the door while they're walking home and listen to the whole story with all these incidents over the past few years.
She's lying to me. I don't trust her anymore.
Because it's ridiculous. And that's why I want to get it out. There has to be more people that they're doing this to. It's not right. It's injustice. It's wrong. They think they're the big dogs in Delaware, and something needs to be. They're killing people probably and getting away with it. With the one baby, they didn't put the nurse even brought the baby in, took the bracelet off the leg, brought him out. Amber was there. She's the one that noticed that. And then brought the baby back in and then was like, oops, trying to put the bracelet back on. So then it was like, if he didn't look just like his father, I think there would have been a mix-up day because they put those security bracelets on there. Now they're really different, and there's like 2 different kinds. But back then it was a little black one that went on their ankle. I forgot about that. She reminded me of that. Alright. I love you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow, obviously. And then, is tomorrow Thursday? No, tomorrow's got to be Wednesday because I have the appointment. And then the graduation's on Thursday at 1:15. So, I try to do my videos every day anyway, but definitely that. Alright, I hope everyone's happy, safe, and healthy. Take care. And remember to share the page, because then they'll see the videos
Not at his place
and
now.
and read
Where to be found.
what's going on, and then they'll be like, hey, this happened to me, or what, you know what I mean? All right. Bye, guys. I love you all. Be safe.
He ain't the kind that drinks a lot.